Hey everyone, the last Shoegazer here, bringing you another installment of About Last Nightmare. As you guys know, this is the collaborative movie review series I've been enjoying for some time now with my awesome friend Jason from Horrific Nightmares JM. We check out a common movie in our collections each week and bring you guys a two-part review. So definitely check out Jason's part one, where he talks about some really cool background information, some fun facts, really does some awesome digging. I always really enjoy watching his part of our review each week, just as much as you guys do. And I always take care of part two, which you're watching now, and kind of give our overall takeaway, our combined rating. And this week, we checked out 1982's Silent Rage with good old Chuck Norris. And I'll be honest, guys, going into this is blasphemy. Chuck Norris, hold your mighty ears, sir. But I'm not the biggest Chuck Norris fan. I've never been, too much of a Walker Texas Ranger fan. I just didn't really grow up with it. I know he's kind of up there in people's, opinions of kind of a man's man, and just a rough, tough, beat 'em up kind of dude. John Wayne, and kind of actors like that. But I don't know. I just never grew up with watching those kinds of films too much. But yeah, I actually really like Chuck Norris in this. This was a pleasant surprise. This is one that Jason has enjoyed for years, and he and I were both really excited whenever Mill Creek and a couple other companies were kind of bringing out some of those retro VHS Blu-rays at Walmart there. Within the past half a year. I think they started around like the fall, and at least my local Walmart kind of kept them shelved and restocked up through the holidays, and they just kind of recently got changed out. And I picked up a lot of really great titles, including Silent Rage, as well as Jason picking up this same edition, and our good friend Joe the Horror Man, who also loves this film. So yeah, they kind of both built this up and said, dude, you're going to love it. I'm definitely into slasher horror films, and while this, on the surface looks like it's going to be a classic Chuck Norris kind of karate drop kicking good time, while there are definitely some of those elements at play here, I feel like Chuck Norris and some of his, I don't know, probably more corny moments, like cliche moments, they were kind of subdued in this, and I felt like he did a pretty nice job acting and not being like over the top, like Mr. Cool Guy. I don't know, he just kind of brought like a nice calmness to an otherwise very rage-filled film, as the title states. Yeah, I thought he was really, really good, very talented, had a lot of great funny scenes as well, with his partner, who's just a ton of fun. So I was definitely grinning from ear to ear, in a lot of moments, as well as feeling very creeped out. A lot of unsettling, pretty classic slasher moments, kind of atmospheric and a little bit seedy at times, and also. Looking at the title there with Silent Rage, we talked about the rage part, but there's a lot of silence, not at play too, in some of the creepier moments that kind of builds up the suspense. There's a scene whenever Chuck Norris's character is kind of on the trail initially of the killer, and you're kind of out in this like field and meadow area, and there's like no Not even like any like 80s synth creepy music that does kind of come into play here in this film in a really cool way. But yeah, it's just like silence, and you're just kind of watching like the killer kind of sneak up on him, and yeah, it's really very suspenseful and really enjoyable. He and I both agreed to give this a 9 out of 10. It's definitely up there for me. Probably not quite as high on the list as it is for Jason, since he definitely grew up with this, and it creeped the heck out of him. And he mentioned when we were messaging back and forth that it still gives him nightmares, still plagues him. And I kind of made the comparison that that's kind of how Silver Bullet kind of sits with me. Whenever I was younger, it really impacted me as cheesy and corny as it can be. Man, that thing gave me nightmares because I saw it so young, and it was like one of the first horror experiences of my life, and yeah, really dug its claws into me. And now it kind of it gives me that cool nostalgic feeling of fear, watching it for the first time, and it always puts a smile on my face with how much it ripped me whenever I was younger. And now it's just a really fun watch that I love it every time. And I kind of got the sense that this is kind of how Silent Rage is for Jason. So definitely a lot of slasher elements, a lot of goods that kind of go along with that, a lot, and a lot of really cool special effects, and yeah, just really great production. I thought the transfer from Mill Creek on this Blu-ray edition that features some retro artwork and the classic artwork there on the right. Yeah, I thought they did a really good job. The sound was nice, and everything was just really good looking. But it kind of starts off as like sort of a classic slasher sort of set, like in farm country, and then it kind of takes a little bit of a turn. Almost feels a little bit like Reanimator infused with karate and tons of drop kicks, and some bikers, and some people that need taught a lesson here by Mr. Norris, and he sees that takes place in Chuck Norris fashion. So yeah, I kind of got a new respect for him in this film, and yeah, I really enjoyed how it kind of went from slasher to almost like Reanimator, and back again to just straight on very creepy, intense slasher. So yeah, definitely check out Silent Rage. Check out Jason's Part 1. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. And until next nightmare, have a good one.